So this is daily log. So this is DailyCyber number 42. Okay, so what am I going to talk about? There's going to be a little bit of a rant, so bear with me. If you're in cybersecurity, this is going to make a little bit of sense at the end, potentially, I hope, and it'll all come together. So one of the things I want to talk about is I've been going through Tony Robbins' Personal Power number 2. And over the last 3 months, actually 6 months, 7 months, 8 months now, 8 months, holy shit, time is flying. Over the last 8 months, it's been really hard for me because a family member got sick of cancer 3 years ago, but the last 8 months have been like just full court press, helping them, supporting them, and then on January 22nd they passed away. So it really kind of threw me for a loop, emotionally, because this was the person that raised me since I was 2 years old. They were my mentor, someone I really highly looked up to, I loved very dearly, and really threw me for a loop because I was like, now what? Now what do I do? So, kind of recap. I mean, 2001 was in IT until about 2005, 2006. In that time frame, around 2003, 2004, I injured my back. I injured my back earlier when I was in soccer in like 99. But then I really hurt my back in 2003, 2004, maybe even earlier, 2002. And then I went through this journey of holistic lifestyle coaching and Reiki practitioner and all this energy work, trying to figure out myself, really do some inner work, because my eating was terrible. My lifestyle was just crap. I was eating garbage food. My mind, I had stinking thinking, very angry, had a lot of like just pent up emotion and frustration. So all that manifested into an injury, right? And then what happened was learning about what I'm doing, how I'm eating, all the things, and changing got me into doing holistic lifestyle coaching. And in 2005, 2004, 2005, actually a little bit earlier than that, I think it was 2003, I started doing holistic lifestyle coaching. And then 2004, 2006, my business changed because I was smart enough to know I was getting lucky and people were asking about digital marketing because that was something I was using to market. And then it evolved in the point until like 2016, where a lot of my clients were starting to get compromised because they're opening themselves to up to vulnerabilities. They weren't having the right password policy, posting too much information on social media, whatever that may be. Through this family member passing, I had the opportunity to go back through things I've stored, right? Through their storage area that they had. I had some old IT books and things like that. And this is back in '99. And going back through and looking at CSSP books I had, Windows 2000 security, IIS, Internet Information Security server, and like all these great things. And I was like, holy cow, like crap. I've been looking at security for 16 years, 15 years. And I started to get into it. And then I stopped, and I transitioned, and I moved. But I always had this passion in the back of my mind. I mean, I worked, in physical security as a security guard for a company, and then a full-time security officer for an event center here for quite some time. And I did that always with the law enforcement mindset. And over the last 3 months, over the last week, trying to find myself, kind of go like, what the hell? Where am I going? What am I doing? Like asking the inner questions. I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to go through Tony Robbins' Personal Power 2, because this is something I look at is I have these tools that I use to look in deep, to reassess myself, reset, get my mind right, and start working towards what I need to work towards. I've done this several times because what happens, I know when it comes to my life, my business, my relationships, sometimes you need to just evaluate. Even Pagan says test to measurable results, right? And you have to make sure that you have the analytics there to be able to say, okay, what's going on? Like, what am I thinking? What am I doing? What are my results? And I look at my life and I was like, okay, same thing. Like, what am I thinking? What am I doing? What are my results? So going through Personal Power 2, I'm on day 8, really made me think about, okay, what's my mind? What's my state of mind? Where do I focus on? What's my end goal? What's my mean goals? Right? And just kind of just brief overview of that. Means goals is what it is, in the intermediate. what are you doing right now just to get by? And what your ends goals is what you're doing to, of completion. So means is like a means to meet the ends, right? For example, I'm going to eat just any food, McDonald's, right? Just because I'm hungry. But what's the end goal of that? Well, do I want to be healthy? Do I want to have good energy? Do I want to have weight loss and be in great shape? Or do I just not care? Well, the means is just to eat the McDonald's because I'm hungry, but the end goal is to, what's my health, my wellness. So think of them that way, because I use that analogy because most of us understand nutrition and, what we eat and just the garbage that, we consume. So looking at cybersecurity, okay, what's my means goal? My means goal is right now is, try to make some money, build up my business, study a little bit. So then I had to flip my strategy and had to flip my mindset. Okay, what's my ends goal? Where do I want to go? What's that last point? Well, I want to be a consultant, not an expert. I'll never be an expert. Right? And I want anyone that's watching this that knows IT security and cybersecurity knows you'll never be an expert, because what happens is everything's evolving and changing. What I know today is completely different in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour down the road, a month, because new technology comes out, new compromises, new vulnerabilities, like everything keeps changing. So we're always a student. And when you understand that, that's when you become, a professional, and you just keep evolving. You're a student of cybersecurity. So my ends goal is to always be a student, but to be a professional that I'm getting paid to help people and to work with businesses or companies and people to help protect themselves, and to be educated and help them set up systems and strategies of, technical solutions as well as mental and psychological solutions when it comes to cybersecurity, because there's different facets to it. People think about the technology. Okay, well, I'm going to put password policy, I'm going to secure it, I'm going to encrypt this, I'm going to harden that, I'm going to do all that. But what about the psychology? What about your blocking factors around it? What about if you got compromised? How do you feel? Like, there's all these different things, and that's what I'm learning and combining on both sides. So my means goals right now is to study, to be a student over the next year to 2 years, to become and develop into that, consultant that people rely on and trust on. Now, that could happen in the next 6 months, that can happen in the next year, that can happen in the next 2 years. But my ends goal is at least in the next year to 2 years to start really consulting with people on a hard basis, like just dedicated to them. Right now, I'm going to be more of a student, right? And I'm not saying I'm not going to have my business and I'm not going to work with people. As people request my expertise, and I want to change that. As people request to work with me, my help, I'm going to do more of that work. But right now, I'm helping the people that I've worked with, my current clients and the new clients that are coming in, but I'm not striving, I'm not really going too far out there to work with new people, not yet. I'm not hustling, as Gary Vaynerchuk said, not yet. My hustle right now is to, to develop me and to talk about that strategy. So that's where I'm starting, and that's something I was watching Gary Vaynerchuk, one of his videos. He goes, where are you starting? What's your mission statement, right? My mission statement and what I really want to do is I want to help people. I want to help people protect themselves, right? Just because technology is out there, so many people just don't know. And when they get compromised, they don't only get compromised with just the technology, but it's also a personal hit, right? They feel violated. And then they don't know themselves. They question what they do. So I really want to help on both sides. And that's really my mission. To learn the technology, learn the psychology, or to bring in the psychology I already know, and help to mirror those together to help people to protect themselves, persons, places, or things, family members, you name it, to help protect themselves. So when you're a cybersecurity and whatever industry that you're in, and it doesn't matter what you're watching, really kind of draw out what's your mission, what's your goal right now. Like, if you can write that out, what are you passionate about? How are you going to get started? And then what's your ends goal? Like, what is the end point? Like, where are you going to be? I'd love to hear, if you want to comment below, I'd love to hear that. What's your mission? Where are you going to start? What's your end goal? Comment below. I'd really like to hear it and see kind of where you're at. That's it for me today. I just want to get back in and doing daily cyber logs and really kind of show the journey that I'm working on. And I know this was a little bit of a rant, a little bit all over, but just to show you that I'm in the game, I'm fighting, I'm not giving up. You know, I'm going to never give up. I'm going to push myself and just, you know, do the things I need to do for myself, myself, my family, my close people around me, and then yourself and my colleagues and acquaintances and the people I know outside. So that's it for my video. Don't forget, software is hackable, being connected is vulnerable. I'll see you tomorrow.